Away from that, Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has declared a state of emergency on education, following what he described as the neglect of the sector by the previous administration. He says his government will construct and renovate 245 schools, provide two-seater desks for 9,542 pupils and students. Theophilus Darufai reports.
Zamfara is one of the states with the highest number of out-of-school children, although there seems to be a recent increase in the enrollment of the girl child in schools across the state. The high number of out-of-school in the state has been attributed to poverty and insecurity, which has ravaged the state for years and has forced many out of their homes. Governor Dauda says the poor standard of education in Zamfara needs urgent intervention, and this necessitated his move to declare state of emergency in the sector.
I declare a state of emergency on education in Zamfara State. The neglected education system in Zamfara affects all levels, from primary to tertiary institutions, with poor learning environment and personnel. My government will give the education sector the much needed overhaul owing to the virtual collapse of this sector. In my campaign manifesto and inaugural speech, I made a promise to the people of Zamfara that my administration will implement policies and programs aimed at reforming the education sector, building and rehabilitating public schools, providing adequate educational facilities, and training and retraining the existing staff to enhance their capacity.
Governor Dauda also says 245 schools will be constructed and renovated and equipped with modern equipment for improved learning across the 14 local government councils.
My administration has commenced the following emergency response. Number one, construction and renovation of 245 schools across the 14 local government areas of the state. Number two, to provide two-seater desks for pupils and students totaling 9,542 across schools. Number three, to equip the constructed and renovated 245 schools with 619 tablets and 926 chairs for the teachers across the 40 local government areas.
This move, according to the state governor, is in fulfillment of his campaign promise to revive the education sector if elected. Theophilus Darufai, TVC News, Gusau.
Special Assistant to Zamfara State Governor on Media and Publicity, Suleiman Idris, joins me on the news at 7. Thank you for joining us. As of 2022, the Zamfara State Universal Basic Education Commission actually put the number of out-of-school children at 883,953. What's the modality for providing this this intervention that the state government is going on with?
Well, thank you for having me. As you just heard from the state broadcast by the governor, this is a promise made during the campaign, and it was part of his manifesto that his administration will implement policies and programs that will reform the education sector, especially building and rehabilitating schools, because you must build schools. The schools must be conducive for the children to be able to be in school. If not, the condition now, the current condition in Zamfara, what we inherited is that the schools were in a total decay, and most of the school students were sitting on their floor. And we don't have teachers that are qualified teachers. We don't have, it's not just about the infrastructure of the schools. We don't have qualified teachers. Most of the schools, you will see that subjects like maths, English, we don't have teachers in most of the government schools. So this is a step taken by the government of Dauda Lawal to make sure that there is a total overhaul in the education sector. So what we are doing now by declaring the state of emergency in the education sector is to make sure that we revive the sector and to upturn the current situation of always being at the bottom when it comes to education and other sectors. So
Mr.
this
Idris,
is a fulfillment of a campaign promise.
yes, absolutely. And Mr. Idris, you would agree that education is closely linked with security. We know that Zamfara appears to be the hotbed for banditry as we speak. So what is the state government doing to ensure that security is in place so children who go to school are not afraid of being attacked?
Well, there was a program by the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology in Zamfara State, because I spoke with the commissioner a few months ago about the program. What they are doing is that they categorize the zones into three. There is red zone, there is green zone, and there is, I think, blue. So what that means is that there are zones that you cannot you cannot open schools because they are volatile areas due to the lingering insecurity. So instead of denying the children in that zones access to quality education, we are transferring those students to zones that are safe so that they will continue, they will proceed with their education. So we are not going to open schools where we know that definitely there are dangers of insecurity, so there is fear of attack from bandits. And we will make sure that most of these schools that we are renovating, that we are constructing, that there will be adequate security to safeguard the students, for the students to not to be in fear of any attack or any military activities. So we'll make sure that we provide adequate security because it's part of the plan, it's part of what the government is doing. That is the reason why we are employing the community protection guard. They have started training. Inaugurate the community protection guard soon. So
absolutely, Mr. Idris, absolutely. And we look forward to the implementation of this policy that the state government is putting in place because education actually is key. Suleiman Idris is Special Assistant to Zamfara Governor on Media and Publicity. Thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 7.